Our top focus at this hour, India has called for an immediate de-escalation of the situation between Israel and Palestine at the first public United Nations Security Council meeting yesterday. This as the hostilities entered their 7th day, killing more than 200 people, including many children. At this meeting, India's permanent representative to the UN, T.S. Tirumurti, asked the two countries to immediately resume direct dialogue and said that New Delhi supports the two-state solution.
Immediate de-escalation is the need of the hour, so as to arrest any further slide towards the brink. We urge both sides to show extreme restraint, desist from actions that exacerbate tensions, and refrain from attempts to unilaterally change the existing status quo, including in East Jerusalem and its neighborhood.
Meanwhile, India also opposed indiscriminate rocket firing by Hamas from Gaza to target civilian population in Israel. India has also lost one of its nationals, Soumya Santosh, from Kerala in the firing by Hamas on Israel notably. The Indian government also called the strikes by Israel on Gaza as retaliatory strikes to Hamas action.
The indiscriminate rocket firings from Gaza targeting the civilian population in Israel, which we condemn, and the retaliatory strikes into Gaza have caused immense suffering and resulted in deaths, including women and children.
While India has opposed Hamas's action, it has stuck to its traditional line of direct dialogue between Israeli and Palestinian authorities, as well as remaining committed to the two-state solution. The Indian position is carefully articulated in the statement, as New Delhi has close ties with both Israel and the Arab world. India also supports the Palestinian cause. India was the first non-Arab country to recognize the Palestinian Liberation Organization's authority as the sole legitimate representative for the Palestinian people. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2018 became the first Prime Minister to visit Palestine, that is from India. However, the Hamas action against Israel from Gaza has further complicated this issue. This as Hamas has few supporters in the PLO led by Mahmoud Abbas. On Sunday, the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu tweeted and thanked 25 countries that are currently supporting Israel. India's name did not feature in the message, and so far there has been no official statement from the Indian government that has clearly supported its key ally Israel over the attacks on major Israeli cities and criticized Hamas. India, despite being a staunch ally of Israel, has avoided embracing Israel openly due to its good relationship with other Arab nations. Now, for a better understanding of India's stand on the conflict, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Seval gets us more details in this next report. Take a look.
Sunday saw the United Nations Security Council discussing the issue of Israel and Palestine, with India being the non-permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, also talked about the ongoing issue. It raised concerns over the situation, over the spiraling violence, also talked for immediate resumption of talks, direct talks between Israel and Palestine. India condemned the rocket attacks coming from Gaza by Hamas and also retaliatory strikes by Israel, saying it is causing suffering in Gaza. But nonetheless, India reiterated its stance when it comes to the just Palestinian cause, which is important given the fact that while it condemned the rocket attacks from Gaza, it reiterated its strong support to the Palestinian cause and also the two-state solution, Israel and Palestine. It also talked about its linkages with Jerusalem, talking about the Indian hospice in Jerusalem, which it said of course, is something that India remembers. It has been renovated by the Indian government. And Baba Farid had visited the place in the year 1200 AD. Number of Indian tourists go to Jerusalem, pilgrims go to Jerusalem and they visit that place. But also what is significant is India talked about the death of its national Soumya Santosh in the strike. She died in Israel. She was a caregiver. She died because of the Hamas strikes, the rocket strikes. Her body arrived in Kerala over the weekend. And what is a very warm gesture, the second in command in the Israeli embassy here in Delhi was present at the Delhi airport when the mortal remains arrived. And Israel's Consul General in Bangalore visited Kerala over the weekend to the house of Soumya Santosh to pay the homage. This is something that has been appreciated here in India because seldom does a foreign country or foreign government pays tributes, and in this case envoys were present. They visited her house in Kerala. Video journalist Dheeraj Patel, Siddhant Sibal for WION in New Delhi.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.